just did it till the sun stopped. So you can
Anyway, we're going to give it any bigger. Here.
Okay, yeah, we can't do that. It'll be small. That's all right. It can be small. Or could we move the projector screen back that way?
Yeah, touch, probably.
Just trying to get every inch we can.
Heard that before.
Yeah, keep going as far as you can.
Great noise.
Great, fantastic. Thank you. And then if we can put it that way a little bit. That works. I'm happy enough with that. We will survive.
Can I see it?
join us out on the track. In number 027.
Come on, Hamilton.
Oh,
you can do it.
I'm being told to be louder. In number 027, we've got Maze. 1010 collateral damage. 17 Sky Master. 18 Dragon. 199 Battle Axe. 42 Newton's Fury. 420 Anarchy. 43 Low and Lethal. 44 Kraken. 667 The Grim Greener. 711 Chica Masala. 89 Roofless. 977 Sweetness, and we've got Hellhound on the bench, ready to come out and rep for Hellmilton. Hellhound.
Indeed. Okay, and the Remutaka Raptors today are, we've got at number 1-2, Princess Di. 1-2-1, Raygun. 2-3-7, Red Rum. 2-8, Wookie Monster. 2-6-7, Vengeville. 2-9, Scrapper. 6-6-3, Steampud. 7-9-2, Kelter Skelter. 8-0-8, Mixed Combobulator. I just combobulated that. 9-5, Frightening McQueen. The captain today for 9-6 is Scrape. And 9-9, Whiplash. And on the bench, we've got Jalapeno and Missy Tero.
We'd like to thank our officials who are making their way out as well. Our head ref today is Pseudo Stripes. We've got with him Greta Growla, Invader Sin, Fouled Out, Sting, and Firecracker. For our non-skating officials, we've got Dr. Reaver, Song, Rose, Invader Sin, Firecracker, Just Libby, Needles, and Metal. Some of these people are listed twice. I'm sorry. You'll see them in the middle doing something very important to keep our game going today. And here emceeing, you've got Venomous and
Prince Harming. So yeah, I normally skate with the with Remutaka. And you?
I skate with Richter City Roller Derby. And I just enjoy roller derby so much that I try to do it as much as possible in any capacity possible to all of our local leagues. However, we have skated together recently.
We have. We did a fun little mashup game in Kapiti.
Absolutely.
With KCDC.
So if you like coming out to see some of these games, make sure you catch some of the local mashups as well, where we've got different members of different leagues coming together to play for fun.
Yeah,
Every game is fun.
It certainly is. I love playing those mashup games. It's a lot of fun skating with different people that you've never skated with
It's
before.
also a good opportunity to play on a new floor.
Yeah. Definitely adds to the challenge. It's quite a slippery floor, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, team, we're just waiting for our jam timer to let us know we've got 30 seconds to seed 2 groups to get onto the track to begin our first jam.
And skating for Remutaka, we've got Vengeville on the jammer line. And is that Sky? That's Sky Master, I believe, number 17 for Hamilton. Oh, and Phil breezes through the pack there. Got a beautiful start for Remutaka. And Sky Master's not far behind him.
First penalty of our game.
And it's Chika Masala headed to the box.
So that is the end of our first jam. Jams can run for 2 minutes or until the lead jammer makes this lovely movement where they take both of their hands and tap them against their hips twice. It has to happen twice. There has to be air time between them before their referee, who's following them, can call the jam off. And then all of the other referees will follow with whistles.
And on the jamming first up, we've got Frightening McQueen versus the Grim Reno. And Frightening McQueen is out for a quick lead there. That's
followed very closely there by, looks like 667.
Yeah, it's the Grim Reno.
The Grim Reno. Briefly down, but back up.
And quickly called off by a Frightening McQueen.
In between each jam, we've got 30 seconds to sort of get our packs back together, get back onto the track, make sure we've got the right number of folks who are playing. So that is going to include for the Hellmilton Roller Ghouls Chicken Masala, who is coming out of the penalty box any minute now. And if you're thinking to yourself, 30 seconds, it's a lot of time. You can do a lot of planning. It's absolutely not. Goes by in the blink of an eye.
Wow, and there's Raygun out for a lead for Remutaka. They're getting some good jam starts at the moment. And so, of course, it's very advantageous to get out of to be the first jammer out of the pack, because once you've done that, you have the right to stop the jam. And so that means that you can limit the points that the other team is getting once you've got your own.
So what we saw there, we had the Hellmilton jammer off to the box for a cut penalty. That means they stepped off the track, back on the track, without ceding to other players who were in front of them. So they essentially cut the other players out. They're going to sit a 30-second penalty for that. Again, 30 seconds seems like forever, but sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. When it's a 30-second penalty, it feels like forever.
It does. Unless you're really tired, in which case it goes really fast.
Oh, then it goes really fast and you're like, come on, I've been naughty, make me sit for 2. Having a bit of a chat to make sure we're all on the same page with our scoreboard. Lots of nonverbal communication required when you're playing roller derby, not just when you're on the track, but when you're helping run the game as well. And of course, some gorgeous track maintenance I saw happening.
Yep, the track definitely cops a bit of a hammering if when the wheels go over sometimes. If you get a bit of sideways motion, it can rip it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, not just tape that's down on the floor. There's actually a rope underneath it. It's quite handy when you are jamming around and you're trying to make sure you're still in play.
Yep, gives you a little bit of a tactile thing without tripping you over.
Here we go. We've got Vengeville out, earning lead jammer, and followed closely by Skymaster, number 17 for Hellmilton.
And a nice quick call from Vengeville.
Oh, some really supportive team changeover there. That's what we love to see in roller derby. It might be a competitive sport, it might be a contact sport, but we love to see each other high-fiving, having big smiles, and giving compliments on and off the track. Very supportive community, I think.
We've got Scrape jamming, and he's round the outside of the pack there.
Scrapes on the outside, and let's see who have we got. 667, the Grim Rena. Coming in at pace there. So there we heard some good comms, even over here at the MC box. Hearing call, call.
Definitely.
I can't tell if that was coming from the bench, if that was coming from you, the spectators, if that was coming from the other team members, but very good pack awareness about our jammer maybe has made it through, earned those points, and the other jammer is hot on their heels. So let's go ahead and call it before they can get too many points.
Absolutely. So there are bench managers on the sitting with the teams down the end of the track there. And they're assisting the jammers to work out when to call the jam off, and giving them hand signals along with sort of shouted commands if necessary, and that all adds to the things you don't have to think about as a jammer, because it's
very nice to have someone to look at, just be like, what do I do?
Definitely, because there's a lot going on when you're on track, that's for sure.
I tend to get into a bit of trouble, though, because I'll be told, keep going, and I'm like, no, I'm done, call the jam. And then I get threatened with push-ups because I've been naughty and not listened. Looks like we got a nice tight pack going there. Doing a bit of work to get that jammer out. But it looks like the Hellmilton jammer is off to the bin for a multiplayer penalty, which means maybe we were just holding on a bit too tight to one of our teammates, helping us get out of a sticky situation.
Yes. I mean, managed to get a whip there through the pack, but it must have collected somebody else at the same time. Or
Yeah. We've got a direction penalty being sat now. So important to note that while we might come to sort of a slow grind or a stop, while you might see skaters who are skating backwards, it's very important to note that when we make contact, we are moving forward on the track. So if you're skating up to someone who's behind you and you're meeting them and moving them, that could be a directional penalty. So we're only moving counterclockwise when we're on the track, insofar as making contact and pushing people. If you're going clockwise, then you're at risk of that directional penalty.
Definitely. Yep.
That took me a second to explain because I'm looking at the track upside down at the moment.
Is that because you're in New Zealand?
Yeah, Derby runs the other way in North America. My gosh, imagine. The World Cup would be a nightmare. There's fell out again.
Yep.
Let's see, who do we have? 1-7, Sky Marster rolling around.
Yeah, so far the Raptors are doing a very good job of controlling the controlling the other team's ability to score any points.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the advantage of becoming lead jammer, so getting out of the pack first, as you get to control that.
How long that jam is going to go for, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the maximum, of course, is 2 minutes that a jam can go for, but the lead jammer can call it off at any time before that.
Yeah, because boy, oh boy, that 2 minutes, it can really feel like you're in the doldrums. Is that the word? Maybe it's really a hard go to have a full 2 minute jam there.
And so, of course, one thing that the lead jammer is trying very hard not to do is get a penalty against them, because once they've gone to the penalty box, they lose the status of lead jammer. So then they are no longer eligible to call it off. So aside from not being able to score points while they're in the box, they actually lose that advantage as well. So it's a really good thing to not get penalised.
For anyone who's watching here or at home who hasn't necessarily observed roller derby before, one way that we can tell who lead jammer is, there are two jam refs on the inside. They're going to follow the jammers through wherever they go, all around the track, through the pack, even if they're sitting in the bin and they've got a penalty. If you see a jam ref with their arm pointed towards a jammer, that means that person has lead, so they've got the power to call the jam when they're ready. Lead has just been awarded to Remutaka. The other jam ref will come around in what I can only describe as beautiful swan/butterfly wings. And that's how we all know that that jammer has made it through the initial. But they don't actually start earning points until they're making it to the pack for a second time. So you've sort of got to get out of the pack the first time, get around the track, and then you can start earning points.
So something you might have noticed there is that the Hellmilton jammer removed the helmet cover from their head. And you'll see what they're trying to do at the moment, apart from push their way through the pack, is they'll be looking to pass it to their pivot, who is the player with the stripe down the middle of their helmet. So this is the pivot's secondary job is to be the backup jammer, so that they can take the helmet cover and become the jammer for that jam.
Definitely. important to note that that plan can go awry sometimes, so that's why the jammer seems to be very careful in that they're holding the hat, also known as a panty, with the star still visible. We still have to see the star to make sure that that jammer is still eligible to earn points and be the jammer who hands off the panty. Lovely. Looks like we're having our first timeout.
So it's a team timeout called by Hamilton there. So
1 minute, one
yeah.
whole minute.
Yep. So that they'll just be sort of taking a second to collect their thoughts and chill
Make a
out a bit.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sort of make sure that everyone's kind of cool, calm, and collected and on their game.
Yeah.
And any little pointers that they might have.
I feel like we usually have quite a few people who've seen roller derby before, but just in case anyone hasn't seen some roller derby, let's quickly maybe just go through a couple of terms like packs and stuff. Yeah?
Sure.
How many people are out on the track at any time from one team?
So from one team, there are 5 players on the track at one time. One of those is the jammer, and the others are the pack.
Yeah, they're the pack or the blockers or potentially the pivot. So the jammer is the person who's sort of going around who's earning points for their team. However, the other 4 players are instrumental in keeping the opposition from earning points. You are there to block the other jammer's way. And if you're wearing the pivot hat with the stripe, even if you're not, you might want to play some offense as well so that your jammer can get even more points. I think a lot of people get a bit confused. They ask me if there's a ball in roller derby. There's not. We're racing and blocking, and this is a gorgeous race going on right now. We've got Sky Marster out and lead jammer.
Yeah, so I think that's the first lead for Hamilton in this game. So hopefully he'll make the most of it.
Yep, looks like they're through that pack, earning 4 points.
Yep, and he's let Vengeful keep jamming by not calling it off, and
Righto.
decided to run it.
Yep, so even though Vengeful is in front of Sky Marster still has lead because they made it out of the initial pack first before Vengeful could.
Yep.
And that's the jam called.
Yep, obviously a decision there to just get some points on the board, which is probably not a silly idea.
Yeah, no, always good to have a few more points. Ooh, a nice grind.
Yeah, something really satisfying about getting a good squeak out of your wheels.
I love a cement floor. Mm.
Yeah, this is a great floor here. Actually, I rate this as probably one of the top places to play in New Zealand. We're very lucky to have it in our backyard. And of course, huge thanks to Garage 16 for making sure that it's still available to us.
Absolutely.
We came very close to losing it, so it's a massive deal for us still to be able to skate here.
Yeah, absolutely. Supporting a lot of communities being able to skate, whether it's artistic skating, roller discos. I assume there's probably some hockey that happens here.
There certainly used to be.
And of course, our roller derby games and practices. And start playing games, team. I assure you that much. There's actually a lot of practice that goes into it. It's not just about knowing how to move your body so that you can stay upright and take impact. It's also about staying safe. There's a lot of things that we're actually not allowed to do in roller derby. So while it is legal to contact the front of someone's body, it is illegal to directly contact them in the middle of their back where their spine is. While we want to play an aggressive game, we also want to make sure that we're all safe and having a fun time. You'll also notice things like we don't, throw punches and trip each other over, and we take head safety very seriously as well.
The movies are awesomely entertaining, but that's
a bit drama, a bit dramatic, yeah.
Yes, it's a little beyond what we're actually allowed to get away with.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, gorgeous. It seemed like we had a pretty tight race there between the jammers a second ago. now we've got our lead jammer out, number 8-9 for Hellmilton, Roofless.
Interesting story about Roofless. Their daytime job is they're actually a qualified roofer. So,
Okay, I was about to say, I'm super curious about where does the name come from? And yep, there's their
that would seal the deal, wouldn't it?
fun fact. It would kind of suit someone who's a veterinarian as well, like
This
roofless.
is true.
All right, who else have we got out there? Looks
So-
like we're having an official review.
It does look like an official review. So each team gets an opportunity to contest something that's happened on the track, which is called an official review. So they'll come out and report what they've believed they've experienced, and the ref crew will verify whether they believe that that's actually happened or not, and there may or may not be repercussions for either team.
Yeah, so these things could include, hey, we think that this player on the other team should be awarded a penalty for this behavior that they did. Maybe they stepped off the track, didn't cede to everyone, stepped back on the track, and the penalty wasn't caught for whatever reason. Or, hey, we think we actually have 4 extra points. Could you fix those points? It's very important to call the official review when you, really quickly after you feel that something has happened, so that the refs have a fresh mind about what they're reviewing, so that you've got a fresh mind about what you're asking for. And also because it's just not possible for us to change points more than one jam after.
Okay, so it sounds like the official review was unsuccessful from Remutaka, so they lose the right to
Call another
call
one this
another
period.
one.
Yep.
So if they were successful, then not only would they get the results from that, but they would retain the ability to make another one. So they've used that one up now.
Which I always kind of forget about when I'm playing. I'm like, oh yeah, we won it. Okay, we'll do one, we'll have one again next time. Wow, out the pack straight away. There we go. We've got number
Skymaster in the
1-7. Yep. Skymaster getting the
Vengeful very close in behind them.
yeah, getting that lead jammer position.
And
Scoot on by, and it looks like
it looked like,
leave 2
yeah,
points
they
each.
both
team?
had 2 points. That
Yeah.
was so nicely contained there by
Yeah, a couple
by
of bunny
Remutaka.
ears there. Yeah, it seemed a bit like each team had a set place on the track there, right? The whole place was kind of covered.
Yep. Yeah, there wasn't much space to get extra points in there.
So we always want to make sure that the only players who are starting behind that yellow line, the jam line, are the jammers. Everyone else has to be in the front between the jam line and the pivot line, so the 2 yellow lines create sort of a rectangle box.
Yeah, and it looks like Grim Reno has the lead there for Hellmilton.
Raygun trying to escape that Hellmilton pack. And out on initial, I believe. Yes, we've got the butterfly wings.
Yeah, and Puna doing some offense there, sweetness, to try and clear a path for the Grim Reno there, but not quite able to get her through.
Yeah, and I think sitting there for a back block, which again goes back to one of the really tricky things about Derby is being very intentional about where you're connecting with other people and making contact, and it's truly very difficult to know when you're kind of in the heat of things.
Definitely, yeah. And so it's you can contact the sides of the back, but not the centre of the back. So it's
Ooh, we got a rogue knee pad, I think, or
well,
elbow pad. It's hard to say. It happens. It's not ideal. They'll get it popped back on once the once the jam is done. All right, looks like Frightening the Queen is out on lead. And we've got Ruthless jamming for Hellmilton.
And that was a star pass from
Gorgeous
Hellmilton.
star pass, yes.
So that was an example of what we were talking about earlier, where the jammer passes the penty or helmet cover to their pivot, and the pivot becomes the jammer.
And some beautiful footwork there where Sweetness rolled by just on the inside line, staying just in bounds long enough to carry on with that pass. So a star pass is also noted, the jammer passing the hat to their pivot. The pivot is the only person who can receive it to put it on over their stripe. But my favorite thing is watching all of the referees tap their heads. Tap their head and take off their little invisible top hat.
So there are very specific ways in which you're allowed to pass the star. The main one being that you can't throw it.
Right.
It has to be a pass hand to hand, and you have to be careful doing it that your hand doesn't contact other players' heads and things like that. So you've got to be.
That's why it's very dangerous for us to try to teach or to learn to pass the panty over our pack's heads. We don't want to make contact with other people's heads, so we try to keep it a low down pass. So what we're seeing here is known as a power jam. So Hellmilton has a power jam because the Remutaka jammer is in the box for the moment.
So you can see when they're in the penalty box that for the first 20 seconds, the offending player is seated. Then for the last 10 seconds, they get to stand.
In anticipation.
Yeah, exactly. And once they're given the go-ahead by the penalty box crew. Yeah, if they come in front of them, then it means they have to do a whole lap to catch up on them.
Yep.
So it's always better to come in directly behind. And of course, on the way back, you don't want to be hitting refs, so you've got to be very careful doing that.
The number one rule in a roller derby game. All right, maybe not the number one rule, but a huge,
there are lots of number one rules. Yeah.
Do not contact referees. That is not just sitting a penalty. Sometimes that is an immediate expulsion from the game. Ooh, we've got a jammer race off.
And a call off from the Gramina there.
Absolutely. Before we had the chance to get in for points, I believe that was both of them on initial A.
It was, yeah. So yet again, very good reason to become lead jammer is just limiting those points that the opposition can get, even if it's nothing.
Let's see, have I got Ruthless jamming? I believe so. It's a bit tricky to see from here, but I think so.
Frightening the Queen for Remutaka, who's just getting nudged out every time she thinks she's through.
Oh, we've got Ruthless off to the bend.
Oh, and Frightening the Queen is lead jammer.
Lead jammer, round on initial, I believe, eh?
Yep, just coming around for her first pass.
So again, we're looking at a power jam here. However, this time it is for Remutaka. They've decided to go ahead and take advantage of that. And the next jam will also be a power start, a power jam.
Because she's managed to trap the opposition jammer in the box. So that means they get a clean run right from the start, which I'm sure Vengeful will be trying to make the most of.
You're supposed to love a power start, but I find them so intimidating when you're the only jammer there. You're like, where's my friend? No, it's gorgeous. There's always a few different, you know, tricks that you can try, but basically if you are a Remutaka player, you are doing your best to make sure that your jammer just scoots right on through that pack.
So they'll be doing what's called full offense. So they'll be doing their utmost to clear the opposition players out of the way so that our Remutaka's jammer, no bias here, Remutaka's jammer has a clear run on it. But
back together now
Yep.
because we've got Ruthless back on the track. So we've got both jammers back on the track making their way round. Vengeful does have lead, but Remutaka is still having to work to hold Ruthless back in that pack. Let's see if we get a little bit of assistance from some of our teammates there.
And the cut track there awarded to Vengeful. So he'll be sitting in the box. So now it's a power jam to Hellmilton.
A power jam, and I believe it's a full 2 minutes, this one,
It will
because
be.
we've had both jammers sit penalties. So when that's the case, sitting a penalty means that you lose your lead jammer eligibility, means that you lose the lead jammer title. So the jam will go for a full 2. And
Yeah. Also, it looks like Hellmilton has
Grinding away at it.
completed a star pass.
Indeed, good catch.
And Vengeful's
So we've
back
got
on the track.
10-10 collateral damage jamming now for Hellmilton.
And so, although the jammer can pass the pivot to the panty to the pivot, once the pivot has put it on, they're not allowed to pass it back. To the jammer.
Yeah, you're stuck with it. So if you're no, please, I don't want that star. That star is yours, friend. You're keeping it until the end of the jam.
And luckily, it all resets at that point. But
All right.
and,
Some fancy footwork and stepping
So-
from 1-7 Sky Master
So
to get
s-
through that initial pack.
yeah, so Skymaster was not a lead jammer then. It was given no pass, no penalty. I believe there was I think a blocker might have had their skate over the line when he passed them, so that wasn't counted as a pass. So he had to complete another lap before he would be awarded
Okay.
lead jammer.
Ooh.
Doug, who is a world-renowned expert in concussion.
Yeah, I think working on some really cool technology so that we can measure like baseline levels before, head injuries or impacts. But yeah, absolutely. Like we were saying before, heads are serious business and we like to take them really seriously. In roller derby, we do wear helmets that have concussion grade padding to help that. But again, we're playing on a concrete floor. It is a contact sport. So if there's any concern about you, off you go for a rest. And Raygun scoots on out of that pack. Seeing some really great chasing there and hustle from Hellmilton. It's a very twisty pack at the moment. There's a lot of rotation going on. You can try your best to sort of have a set position in the pack, maybe say I'm going to be a blocker who's taken the outside of the track there, but if you've got the jammer on you, you're going to stick to that jammer like Velcro and follow them wherever they go to the best of your ability. So you could end up on the inside, you could end up skating backwards. It's a beautiful thing that builds teamwork and trust to make sure that, okay, if I turn backwards, I've still got someone there to support me and block this gap, etc. And of course, you're trying to talk the whole time.
Indeed, yeah, communication is a huge part of successful strategy in roller derby. Making sure that everyone's aware of what you're doing and what you need out of your other teammates.
And if you get a penalty, I'm out.
Yeah, gotta go.
You're down to 2. I'm sorry. Nice tight setup there at the top, right against that jam line.
Yep, and that's frightening McQueen out for lead
Yep.
for Remutaka.
Ruthless almost
getting,
through, just pushed out there on the outside of the track.
Getting recycled, but Kelter Skelter obviously did a
Receiving a penalty.
Penalty
Yeah.
of some sort, so which let Ruthless get back on the track.
Ooh. Oh, I was so excited for a jammer race, but we do have Frightening McQueen going to the box. The bin, the box, whichever one you want to call it. It's the penalty sitting place.
Penalty zone.
We've got Hellmilton celebrating a scoring pass there, so that's Ruthless earning 4 points for the Hellmilton Roller Ghouls. We've got some good comms that I've just heard from the pack on or from their bench, which was jammer standing. So that's a way that you can say to the rest of your team, hey, we need to switch from offense back to defense because we need to stop the jammer who's on their way to us.
And Frightening McQueen getting a nice little whip off mixed combobulator there. That was a nice little
Such a
swing
gorgeous
around
move.
the outside.
Yeah, I love a little whip around. Some great contact there. It can get a little bit tricky, particularly if you're in Sweetness's spot there trying to help your jammer, being a bit stuck and ending up sort of pushed off the track there a bit with your jammer getting pushed off, and you're like, oh, no.
And
You
so
just
that's-
reset and try again. Half minutes. So use Wharepaku if you need to. We do have some bakery items, I believe, along with some really cool merch at the front door. If you've got any questions, feel free to come and speak to Harming or I, or populate them in our chat, and we'll keep an eye on it. And we'll see you back here in about 14 minutes.
See you real soon.
Aw, just when you thought you'd gotten rid of us, we're back. All right, team, so we've got our jam timer there in the middle, being very serious, watching the clock count down till the end of halftime. At the end of halftime, they might have 30 seconds to get ready, but if they're ready, they might also just jump into the game a bit faster than that. We'll see what happens.
And so it looks like kicking off the jamming for this half. We've got Vengeful and Skymaster.
30 seconds indeed for a little lineup. It's always kind of funny when you get set up and then you're like, okay, we've got 25 more seconds.
Yeah, it can take forever.
Little jump ahead there. Vengeful making the way out of the pack. And Skymaster getting recycled a little bit there. So a recycle happens when you get pushed off the track and you have to run back behind the player that was in front of you to make sure you don't get a cut penalty. And it can go back quite far, actually, 10 to 15 feet-ish, something like that. It's very annoying. That's a back block awarded to Vengeful.
So yeah, that makes it a power jam for Hellmilton. They'll be doing their best to get Skymaster through, and that was nicely cleared on the inside.
Absolutely, and there's some
took
points.
that and made the most of it.
Remutaka doing their best to hold Skymaster back. But because they've got those other blockers on their team just ready to make way for them, it can be a bit tricky during this time. It's a lot harder to hold 5 people than it is to hold 1A.
It sure is. Yep. And nice little twinkle toes dance around the pack there. That was very nice.
Just a
very
little
nice.
doop. I see you standing in that apex curve, and I raise you an apex jump. We've got Vengeful back from the box. Seem to create a little bit of chaos there.
Vengeful is very good at finding little gaps and making little gaps for him to take little gaps.
It seemed to almost distract the Remutaka pack enough for Skymaster to get out, but not quite enough. They just closed that door right back up.
And looks like we've got Grimrina for Hellmilton and Lightning McQueen for Remutaka. And the Lightning McQueen has lead, but Grimrina is very
right
close
on
behind.
the heels. Around we go. And that is Rena right on through with a little bit of help from Sweetness, a little bit of chaos in the pack there.
Yeah, so it looks like Hellmilton actually did better out of that than Remutaka ended up doing.
So there's quite a lot of whistles that happen at the end of the jam. There is 3 sets of toot, 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 toot. However, you are unable to earn any extra points after the first set of toot, 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 toot. The other 2 are to let everyone else know that the jam is over.
It's sort of an altogether scenario for the refs. First one goes and then everyone follows to drum it in.
Yes. We've got Raygun out with lead jammer already on a scoring pass there.
And Hellmilton have passed the star to the pivot now.
Absolutely, that's 027, so Mace.
So Mace hasn't put it on yet. but it looks like they're about to. And of course, you have to have it on to score any points. So it's important to do that if you're coming up for your point scoring pass.
Oh, and looks like they have been awarded a penalty, so they are off to the bin. I didn't quite catch what that penalty was, though.
No, I didn't see that either.
Now, if you're the pivot and you're holding the star, can you still make it through your initial? As long as you're holding the hat and the star is showing.
I believe you can still do initial, but
You just won't earn any
can't score
points unless it's on your head.
I think that's right.
I think so, yeah.
And the jam has ended with the Hellmilton jammer in the box. So that'll be starting
Jammer down, yeah.
jammer down, yeah. So it'll be a
Power Star Day for
Power Jam,
Remutaka.
that's what I'm
Power
looking
Jam.
for. Did you sort of see the little slowdown in my voice there as I was racking my brain trying to
You
pull
can
it out
tell
of
I've been in
there?
training this week as well because I'm like, start, power start. We're practicing starts. There we go, and making sure that we don't leave the penalty box before our penalty is served. Otherwise, we could be awarded another one. I'm not sure if that's what's happening there. I don't think so.
So
Just standing. Oh.
Okay, I'm not 100% sure what's
A bit of confusion
going on
there. Okay, we've got Vengeful out, not taking lead jammer because they set a penalty, so lead jammer is not available.
They have, however, completed their first scoring pass, so they're still getting points. They just can't pull it off.
Absolutely. So we're going to run the full 2, I believe, for this jam. For record, the jammers might aim to make it around the track in about 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds, and then a few seconds of pushing through the pack, etc., depending on your team, and off again. So it's quite a few rounds that you can make it in 2 minutes.
The blockers do this really annoying thing of slowing you down on
I know.
on passes. It's
If only they just weren't on the track, you know?
yeah. Otherwise,
It's so
you
much
can,
smoother, so much faster.
yeah. I mean, unobstructed, a jammer can get around in about 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, not with all these people in the way.
I'm generous with my jammer times. I'm a bit like from that movie, anyone can cook, anyone can jam. We are all jammers and we are all blockers in my book. Some of us just take a little bit longer to get around the track, myself included.
Yeah, we all have our different strengths on the track, and that's one of the great things about roller derby.
Absolutely.
Every sort of size and shape and ability has a role that they can be super valuable in, and so it really is a super inclusive sport if you're keen to give it a go.
And if you feel like, gosh, how do you even get to the level of playing a roller derby game? Well, there are a couple of Learn to Skate classes that run in Wellington region.
Remutaka have got one starting up just this week.
I was
No,
Maybe-
no, it was 8 and I think it's 8 and 10 between
8 and 10 weeks. Okay, yeah.
skate and derby.
So you might have a Learn to Skate, and then you graduate on to a Learn to Derby. And then after your Learn to Derby, you've been theoretically deemed a person who's safe to play roller derby with and practice roller derby with. So you might start
within safe limits. Yeah,
playing a bit with the league. Yeah.
So yeah.
Or a different team, etc. But yeah, Everyone always kind of starts off with that learn to skate, and the first thing that you learn in learn to skate is how to fall.
Yep. Because
Very helpful
you will
skill.
definitely do it.
Uh-huh.
Multiple times a session, probably, if you're trying hard enough.
And then you'll get some cool bruises. The worst thing is when you have a bunch of falls and you don't get any cool bruises to show for it.
That is a real letdown, it's true. Yes, especially when you sort of start to land on other people's skates and things like that. You get some really creative shapes.
I absolutely landed, and I've got a bruise as we speak on my lower leg. And someone said, nice bruise. And I said, I don't know where I got it from. And they said, it looks like a wheel. So I definitely laid down on someone's wheel at some point.
Yep, had the text in it and everything. You could make out what brand it was.
Yeah. And they were dirty. Yeah. You need to change your bearings. These are horrible. No, it's a lovely sport. It's super fun, and if you're in the market for some skate equipment, there are a few different places that you can check out around Wellington as well. Just to get started, just keep an eye out between artistic skates and roller derby skates. Artistic skates are those beautiful ones that have a little bit of a heel. They look a little bit more like ice skates, I'd say.
Yeah.
Whereas roller derby wheels are skates are pretty flat, actually.
They're very functional. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They're based on speed skates actually. With sort of quite, that's why they're much lower cut and things.
Yeah.
But with sort of specialized wheels and things like that.
Yeah.
To suit whatever.
Oh, and we've come so far from like the metal plates on the bottom have become, oh my gosh, what is it now? It's super lightweight.
Yeah, I mean, mine are magnesium. I'm not sure about yours. It's pretty bit fancy, yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah. You can get some grippy wheels. You can get some wheels that are better for slipping and sliding. You can mix and match your wheels. Like, oh gosh, just the rabbit holes that you can go down with your roller derby gear. It's insane.
Sounds really daunting, sliding on skates, right? But it's one of my favorite things.
Oh, it's the best. You got to have a little bit of give with them. That brings up a really good point. When we're playing, we want to make sure that we're never coming to like a complete stop when someone is pushing against us. So if you're the backwards facing skater, you still need to have a little bit of give. Those wheels do need to be moving in a forward moving direction, because if you come to a complete stop and someone continues to push on you and you are just a stone pillar, that's actually a penalty.
And Remutaka have the lead there. Scrape
making the way out, yeah. Skymaster doing their best to get out of the pack there at the top.
So close. Just being held up by the last couple of Remutaka blockers
held
there.
up, and I believe they had a brief no pack call. Very valuable to a jammer who's stuck up at the top there, particularly because in a no pack call, you can't make contact with each other when there's no pack.
Exactly right.
So if you're the jammer up there and you are just being held up, that no pack call means that you've got a little bit more flexibility with getting around those blockers, because they can't actually properly block you the way they want to.
But also a lot of jammers aren't aware of this, but you're actually not allowed to hit a blocker either if you're a jammer.
Absolutely. See, that's what makes it a little bit tricky. Yeah, you've got to find a gap and take the gap. There's no hitting each other. You are included in that no pack call. We've got 667, the Grim Rena, who was making their way around with a really gorgeous pace, and I believe earned all 4 points.
Yeah, they managed to get their 4 points as well.
Looks like Ray Gun versus Ruthless there. And Ray Gun's out with that lead jammer. Ruthless trying to fight their way through that Remutaka pack. It's a tough pack. And getting recycled by Princess Di.
Very good block of Princess Di. It's always going to be a hard ask getting past.
Always super happy when Princess Di is on my team, and always super frustrated when they're not, because that means I'm going to get pushed out a lot.
Absolutely.
In the best way possible. The best compliments you can give to each other in roller derby are, you were really annoying during that. You were just everywhere. I couldn't move you.
So Raygun penalised in the jammer penalty box there, and the Hellmilton pack working hard to try and create a no pack scenario there. You'll see that they're standing towards the back and trying to let the Remutaka pack push them out of play, or get the jammer that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. In that instance, so it's worth noting that to make pack, this is one of the most complicated things to understand about roller derby, I think. Pack does not necessarily just refer to 3 or 4 members wearing the same color. Pack, in sort of roller derby legal terms, refers to the majority, the group that has the most players, that has at least one player from each team. So it's absolutely possible for a pack to exist that has, let's say, for instance, 3 or 4 Hellmilton players and one singular Remutaka player who is up playing near them. As long as they're within 10 feet, that is the established pack. It is an extremely tricky thing to try to explain without having sort of an example right in front of us, but it's a very tricky one that gives me so much respect for those inside refs and the head ref who are just constantly looking at pack and calling those pack calls, no pack, split pack, pack front, pack back, blah, blah, blah. It essentially gives the skaters some indication of, are we still in legal play? If there is a no pack, do I need to move up to become pack? Do I need to stop moving so that the pack can join me, etc.?
There is always so much going on.
It is
on a roller derby track.
Oh.
It's very hard to track what's.
It is a contact
everything that's
sport.
happening.
It is a sport of endurance, of strength. Oh,
Wow,
gorgeous apex jump there by
Lovely
Benchville.
apex
eh?
jump from Benchville.
And it's also a very technical sport. There's a lot of technicalities to the penalties and when it's legal to play and how you can legally play, etc.
So that what we. Take off in bounds and land in bounds, they can slice off a bit of the corner. So if
Blockers are welcome to do it too, but jammers primarily do use
blockers can
it.
absolutely do it too, and they do. But yeah, it's
My new goal.
yeah.
maybe when I hit my 5-year anniversary of playing roller derby, I'll be like, all right, it's time for me to incorporate apex jumps as a blocker.
Yeah.
There we go. Scrape for Remutaka out front with the lead jammer position. Who have we got here? The Grimrina getting recycled back into that pack.
And Marina has, of course, removed her panty, so she's looking for.
It's been
pass,
handed
and
off.
It's been handed over.
Yep. There's that star pass over to 1010, collateral damage. Another super fun thing that you don't necessarily see all the time, but that I absolutely love to see and I hate to be a part of, is some jammer on jammer defense and offense. So the jammers are actually allowed to contact each other. They're allowed to block each other. They're allowed to help one another off the track even in a way that's very frustrating.
Yeah, and of course, the big advantage to jammers in that scenario is that they can do that without having to be part of the pack.
Yep,
so
they can engage with each other anywhere on the track.
Anywhere on the track, not just with everybody else.
I have been the victim of some jammer on jammer. I want to say bullying, but it wasn't necessarily bullying. It was just all in good fun, some intimidation tactics.
Totally legal bullying.
Some totally legal bullying and intimidation tactics. And I was like, leave me alone. Gorgeous. Here we go. We've got 1-7 making their way around. Sky Master, who's got lead jammer at the moment. So just to remind everyone, they do have the ability to call that jam off, which they did.
Yep, and just in time to stop frightening McQueen from racking up any points there.
There's a lot of different tactics and you know, schemes and plans to playing roller derby, but it's not always about going for those big long jams that are 2 minutes. It's quite tiring. It's really exhausting on your jammer. It's really exhausting on your pack. It's hard to come up with a plan for that many passes sometimes. It gets a bit messy. So if you can get through, get some points, and keep the other team from getting points, that's a really great way to rack up points in the overall game.
Yep, just chip away and
Yeah.
limit the opposition. It's a great way to go. And a big recycle there from Scrape.
Back on the Apex too. Apexes are just generally known as one of the trickiest places to play. The track is slightly larger because of the curvature. The distance is a little bit greater between each person, and also it's on a curve. Looks like Princess Di is off to the box. Don't know what that penalty was for.
But
Ruthless trying to get through that pack there with a little bit of help from their friends.
yeah, having a very frustrating time with Scrape there. Multiple recycles from them.
Absolutely. And when you're out on the track and you're doing some blocking, you're always at your strongest when you've got your buddies with you. So when you've got some friends there with you, you can absolutely become a really impenetrable wall. We've got Ruthless out.
Wow, good jam from the Raptors there. That was 16-0.
Good endurance and persistence, on behalf of Hamilton, to just push, push, push.
Yeah.
There's not really much that you can do when you're getting a bit stucco like that.
It's pretty brutal as a jammer. It can be very demoralizing when you just feel like you're bashing your
It's always
helmeted headed against a
always
a
nice
back
to tell the
wall.
jammers that they're doing a great job, team, because they are. They're doing a lot of mind work out there and pushing.
Yeah.
We've got Vengeful out with lead jammer, but very quickly followed there by the Grim Rena.
Oh, and another lovely apex jump from Vengeful there. Oh, and nudged out
bit of a-
afterwards
Bit of
by
a
Sweetness.
fast pace going there.
Wow, that was action-packed.
The track's coming up. Everybody's got something going on out there at the moment, eh?
Absolutely, yeah. Smacky is doing our track repairs today, and they're keeping her very busy.
Yeah. Righto, we've got Scrape jamming for Remutaka, and it looks
Sky
like
Master is through with
Ooh.
lead.
Yep, back on for Hamilton Roller Ghouls.
And Scrape in chase. In pursuit.
And that's the jam called off, unfortunately, for Remutaka, who's had a blocker in the bin for that last jam, and will have one starting in the bin for the next
yeah.
jam as well.
Starting out with a pack of 3 this time.
Yep.
Yep. Ideally, you want everybody on the track that you possibly can, because it makes a surprisingly large difference having 4 versus 3.
Yeah, definitely. I don't actually have the stats for how wide the track is, but like it's definitely over 2 meters in some places. It's a lot to cover when there's just a couple of you.
Yeah, that's right. The exit to the corner is actually wider than the entry to the corner. So it looks like it's just a plain oval, but it's actually the outside of the track is actually skewed slightly sideways.
Right. Bit of a chase there from Sweetness, but looks like they were awarded a penalty for that, and the jam was called by Frightening McQueen.
Yeah, I suspect Sweetness was out of play when he.
Oh, is that what
nudged her off the
the
track.
hand signal was? Yep.
I'm guessing. It looked like it was fairly well out of the pack.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about some technical stuff. If you are someone who loves getting into rules and technical stuff, oh, please look into becoming an NSO or a skating ref, because I tell you, the amount of information they've got in their brains around penalties and when to call it, how to call it, oh, blows my mind. Have a look there.
Both jammers getting recycled there.
We've got Grumrina getting a bit of a push there. And Raygun taking advantage of,
just
of an
squeaked through on
apex
the
jump.
inside. Very nice, very nice.
Rayna doing a bit of pushing. And a bit of a fake out there by Grumrina for a little bit of a fake out star pass. That can sometimes give you enough confusion with the other blockers to sneak by. You're actually the jammer. And yeah, star passes are pretty sneaky. You want them to be as on the down low as possible. You don't really want the other blockers to know what's going on, so that your pivot can just shoot on out of that pack.
As a pivot, getting past the star while you're still behind the pack is a really painful move.
It's fine.
You definitely want to make sure that pivot is in front of the pack.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're
Are
just
you
handing
sure?
over the problem.
Yeah.
A nice little sneak up the inside from Benchfield there. And Skymaster in hot pursuit.
So it's important to note also how you'll see a lot in roller derby, or hear a lot in roller derby, is square up, square hips, square hips. You want to be pointed straight forward or straight back. You want to move your hips out of the way of the jammer if they're on their way past you. Different things like that. It's why we try really hard to keep the jammers right on our back instead of allowing them to sort of snake around your body and grab some extra points there.
Yeah, absolutely right. And of course, presenting your back as a blocker makes it much harder for the jammer to.
They have to be a lot more careful about how they hit
past
you.
Yeah, they have to not hit you in the middle of the back. So if you can keep that way keep facing that way the whole time, then it definitely makes it more challenging for them.
And if you're thinking to yourself, that sounds really intimidating, it can be, and we practice that right out of you. You get real used to it.
We sure do. Yeah. There are definitely things, ways you can maintain your posture and actions you can do with your body to
taking impact
to minimize the risk.
is a huge part of it. Absolutely.
And of course, we guarantee that the thing you'll be told most is, as part of learning to skate, is bend your knees.
Bend your knees.
Get low.
Soft knees. Be low. And then, when you achieve a new low for yourself, you'll be told, get lower. That's the only possible way to play.
But I'm on the floor. Doesn't matter.
But I'm crawling. I'm not even legally playing. So that's another fun fact. If you have fallen down, you are a downed player. You're not technically in play if that's the case. So if you fall down and someone tries to block you while you're sitting on the floor, they're definitely getting a penalty. That's not allowed.
That's right. And of course, when you do fall, the guidance is always to fall small. So
turtle.
Pull in all your limbs, reduce the chance of getting fingers run over and things like that, because it hurts, I can assure you. And
Oh, gorgeous example of turtling just there on the corner there by 711, who is Chica Masala. So we're hearing some comms like wall up. You might hear some comms from the jammer who's asking the pack to move forward, move back, help sweep the inside so that they've got a clear path to get through, etc. And wall up is something that we say together so that we can work on having a really strong two walls, so sort of two bums coming together to catch the jammer and take some of their momentum, or a tripod. So two bums and one person who has a name, a title of brace or top or any number of things, and they're sort of there to help support that wall. Best practice is to be a strong wall without that person.
Yes,
We don't want to be a death grip to that person. They still need to be a bit free so that if you lose the jammer as the bums, they can recapture them. You can all come back together.
That's another creative new bruise that you'll find when you're starting Derby, as well, particularly if you're skating with new players.
You can identify the new players by their fingerprints on your arms.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You get the fingertip death grip
Yeah.
imprints on your shoulders.
I've got some friends who I play with, some teammates who do the karate chop. you get chopped if you're holding on too hard, and it's very embarrassing. But it does take a bit of time to remember that you've got strength in your own self and your own core. And if you lose the jammer, it's not the end of the world. It's going to be okay.
And you'll almost certainly be told, get low, get stable.
Mm-hmm. Are we having an official review? It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Less than 5 minutes on the game. We've got the Remutaka Raptors at 255 and the Hellmilton Roller Ghouls at 108. It doesn't matter how long this game is. I always struggle to say Hellmilton. Yep.
Hellmilton.
Instead of Hamilton. I love the name, though. I love the Hellmilton Roller Ghouls.
You made
It's
it.
great. I did it. I'm just going to have to take 30 seconds to say it forever now. Oh, a good stomp with your skates. Are you a skate stomper?
I certainly was when I was learning crossovers, but
Oh.
not so much anymore.
True. Okay, sure. When you're doing crossovers, you'd like for them to be more smooth. If I feel like my toes haven't woken up and they're not connecting with my edges, I'm going to just skate around and give a nice stomp. Just to be like, all right, blood, start flowing down there, please.
Get everyone nice and intimidated.
Yeah. Also a very good juking strategy to just sort of go up behind a blocker who's ready to catch you and give them a really loud stomp to one side and skate quietly to the other side to get around them.
And also apparently at the last Men's Roller Derby World Cup, the New Zealand Kiwi Tour team were very popular with fans for doing the haka and skates.
Whoa.
It was apparently really dramatic.
I mean, I can imagine, and especially it would be quite loud. Like, skates are very loud, team. That would have been really beautiful to see. That's a lot of practice going into it. A very different movement from what we typically do in these skates.
Absolutely. And I know our good friend Optimus Grime is a big fan of it too. He was telling us all about how impressed he was. So that's always pretty exciting from a big name like that.
Yeah, definitely. Having a bit of a chat, and Hellhound back to the bench. Seemed like the Ghouls gave a bit of a smother there on that start. Completely legal, of course, and it really paid off. They got their jammer, the Grim Rena, right on out. So they did have a power start. Grim Rena is the only jammer out just now.
But, Scrape is back on the track, and it'll be interesting to see if they've woken up to that yet. Maybe partially.
So we're getting a couple of different calls there about no pack, out of play back. So if you do skate too far away from the pack, you will be out of play. That means the jammer can go right by you. Five-second call there. It was a bit of a close one, getting everyone on the track for that one.
And recycle there for Raygun. Wasn't able to quite get go to pack, and let Skymaster get through for lead.
And we got Raygun out on her initial as well. No pack call. Again, that means that it is illegal for anyone to block or contact anyone when there's a no pack call, and the groups need to come back together to create one solid pack. Sometimes this happens because you've got a pretty even split. So again, keeping in mind that pack means that it's got members of both teams in the group.
Good jam there from Hellmilton.
Well done, you. Well done.
Close.
Not normally a shy person, but I'm very shy about saying that word.
How many times can I think it and still say it wrong?
Remutaka holding the top there to get Vengeful out. But
Grim
there
Rena
we
very
go.
close
Rena
behind.
right on Phil's tails. Yeah. Phil taking the short way, Rena taking the long way round, but both getting through the pack there and scoring their points. So you might be wondering, is Rena still scoring 4 points every time they get through the pack? The answer is yes. Once you've passed the first blocker on the opposing team, you get that blocker's point and the points of anyone who's sitting in the penalty box. So if there's only one blocker from the opposing team on the track and you pass them on your scoring pass, you've passed one human and you get 4 points if the other three are in the penalty box. It's a good place to be in as that jammer. It's a bad place to be in as that blocker.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Not feeling any pressure whatsoever, I'm sure.
No. I love watching the jammers when they get lead or any time. I feel like the jammers smile the most. I don't remember to smile when I jam, but I also don't remember to breathe when I'm a jammer.
I have the worst dirty faces in the tournament. Whether I'm jamming or blocking, if I'm concentrating on skates, it
Absolutely,
is not pretty.
absolutely. I'm so thankful to Sir Clicks-a-Lot who comes and takes photos of some of these events and is really helping me see some of my mistakes on skates and also reminding me to smile because I'm having fun. Getting a bit tricky here. I think both teams are feeling the pressure at the end of the game, and seems like we've got Dragon out wearing the star now. Well done.
And that's it. unofficial score 279 to 124.
Well done to all who played.
Absolutely, good
Seemed
win
like
from
a
the,
nice,
from the
clean
Raptors,
game
but
overall.
but yeah, I think the score wasn't a good reflection of how well everyone was playing then. That was a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of really great blocking, some good offense happening, watching out for your teammates, and I hope everyone had a super fun time. I did.
Yeah, I did too. Thank you very much for assisting.
Oh, it was lovely. Thanks, everyone, for coming to watch. Thank you to Garage 16 for continuing to make sure that we could have these wonderful events here. If you liked what you saw and you think you'd like to join, have a look at the Learn to Skate program with the Remutaka Raptors. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Catch you later.